Hi, my name is Alejandro Cano and I'm a real estate and legal advisor at Lexidy Legal Tech Boutique. If you want to start investing in real estate in Spain, this video is for you. Are you wondering what the steps are to buy in Spain? Whether you prefer city life, countryside, beach towns, or somewhere in the mountains, Spain has a dream spot for everyone. There are many factors to consider when purchasing a property in Spain, but I will focus on explaining the most important ones from a legal standpoint. Firstly, Spain has buildings that are over 100 years old. They have very old registration records that must be cancelled before purchase. The most important example of these include lifetime usufructs and long-term leases. It's vital to check that the properties are mortgaged. If it is mortgaged, we need to explore how to cancel it correctly. When you plan to buy a property, you will be asked to reserve it by signing an Arras. This essentially is a deposit contract. We strongly recommend that a lawyer reviews these details, as some Arras contracts have bad terms. Before making any payments to anyone, we need to double check how the payment will be made. Some deposit contracts are written in a way that risks you losing your deposit if the sale falls through. There are also several certificates that must be signed before a notary. Estate agencies do not typically provide these unless the buyer specifically requests them. These certificates are essential. These points are often ignored because an estate agent doesn't have your best interest at heart. They are only focused on selling the property, whereas a lawyer focuses solely on their client's best interests. So what's the process of buying real estate? If you cannot travel to Spain frequently, we recommend granting a power of attorney to a lawyer. This allows a lawyer to act on your behalf, but with the terms you set. To conduct any transaction in Spain, you need an NIE, which is a Spanish tax ID. Virtually everyone in Spain has one, and other EU countries have their own version of it. It's very common. We also recommend opening a Spanish bank account, as you'll need to transfer funds internationally if you're buying a real estate. Once you have the foundation set, you can move towards the property purchase. With the lawyer's help, you make the seller an offer, and if they like it, they'll accept. You then need to sign a reservation contract after having it checked by a lawyer. Usually, the reservation contract is valid for 10 to 15 days and it can be extended. Due to the historic nature of Spanish real estate, we recommend performing a due diligence on the property. That means checking if there are any debts, charges, or documentation issues with the asset. Depending on the property, we also encourage some investors to work with an architect on a technical report to ensure the building is structurally correct. We can recommend partners in your area. Here, you sign a formal contract with a deadline date. The buyer makes a down payment that's 10% of the property's value. However, here's where Spain is a bit different from many other countries. If you withdraw from the contract or miss a deadline, you can lose a 10% down payment unless both parties agree to continue the transaction. Likewise, if the seller withdraws from the transaction, they must pay the potential buyer double their original down payment. Next up is an appointment with a notary, where the sale and purchase agreement is signed. If a mortgage is needed for the purchase, then the bank must also come to the signing. However, the buyers don't have to attend this appointment. We can use a power of attorney and sign the agreement on their behalf. Once the transaction is complete, you'll need to pay taxes. The property transfer tax is between 6 and 10%, while the notary costs, title deed tax, and land registration fees are around 1 to 2.5%. We then inform the land registry of the change of ownership. Finally, we recommend changing the ownership of the utility providers. That's it. 5 simple steps to turn your dream of living in a Spanish villa or a coastal finca into a reality. If you're interested in taking advantage of these benefits in Spain and don't want to get lost in translation, speak with me or one of my colleagues by clicking the link below. You can also find out more by visiting our website at lexidy.com. Let's get started and buy Spanish real estate today.